We are moving into part 5 of my 2023 makeup collection and declutter series. Today we're going to be doing face palettes, which I keep in the top drawer. Right here are where I keep my face palettes. I do not have a ton of them. I mean, it's more than, what the average person has, who uses makeup. But for me, this is actually pretty small. Last year when I decluttered my face palettes, this drawer was full. It was overflowing. So this is actually pretty manageable for me. Even though this is pretty manageable, I do have some palettes in here that I do want to go ahead and move out of the collection. So let's go ahead and get started. Whenever I film one of these, I'm never sure where to begin. But let's just go ahead and start grabbing from the top. And let's start with something I know for sure I'm going to keep, which is going to be these two right here. These are the Nude Ego palettes from BH Cosmetics. They are the Flatter Me palettes. This first one is the I Don't Give an F. This one right here is currently in my shop, my stash. These two shades right here are the ones that I've been pulling the most, but it's a beautiful palette. And then this one is more of an orange color story. This one is the Unfiltered, and this one just has a bunch of warm oranges in here. This one is one of my favorites in my palette. I love anything orange. If you guys have been following me, you know. Beautiful palette. I'm also, of course, going to be hanging on to my Bare Cheeks from Blend Bunny Cosmetics. I'm still wanting to pick up the Juicy Cheeks. I will eventually. Just love the range from like cool to warm. It's beautiful palette. Also going to be keeping my Bellini palette from BH Cosmetics. Of course, this one and a couple of the others that I mentioned already were in my top powder blushes. This palette right here is one of my absolute favorites to pull out during the springtime. It is stunning. Also going to be hanging on to my Kiko Milano palette. This one was from the Valentine's Day collection earlier this year, the Power Love collection. The writing on the back of this is just so small. I cannot read it, but it's a blush highlighter duo, and it's really, really pretty. I do have like similar tones like in my singles and stuff, but I think the formula in this one is just gorgeous. So I'm going to go ahead and keep it. And also this would be like really good for travel as well. This one I am going to go ahead and declutter. This is the Princessa palette. I think this is number 4. I think, not sure. I got this one from Shop Say. There's not anything really wrong with it or anything. The formula itself is really pretty, but it doesn't last very long. The shades, the tones, beautiful. It blends in the cheek really beautiful, but the formula just doesn't last very long on me. And, I have these tones in other palettes and singles. There's no real reason for me to hang on to this. So this one I am going to go ahead and let go. I just realized I forgot to mention how many palettes I started out with. I started out with 24, just so you know. All right, moving on. We're also going to hang on to both of my Udens Eye palettes. This one right here is the Alva 2. I currently have this one in my shop, my stash. These iridescent like blues and purples. This one down here I'm actually wearing today. So freaking pretty. Oh my God, this formula is stunning. Equally as stunning, we have the Soul Mane palette. This one is more on the neutral everyday side, although these two shades over here are a little bit more iridescent. I guess it's more everyday compared to the other one, but it's beautiful. This one right here, I think I am going to declutter. It's not that I don't enjoy it. Please forgive the reflection. You can literally see everything in here. It's like a mirror. But this is the Cupid Cheek Duo from Natasha Nona. I actually bought this, I think, in one of the boxy pop-up shops. It's a cream blush highlighter duo. The issue with this formula is that it's very balmy and it's very sheer. This one just looks like a highlighter on me, like a coral toned highlighter. The formula is okay. I don't have anything against it, but it's just not something that I use or pull from. I'm going to put this one to the side and just give it to my daughter. This type of formula, these shades, she'll love it. So move into this stack. This one I have had forever. I don't really pull it out much. It's the Alternative Rock from the Balm Volume 1. This is a face and eye palette. I think I'm going to put this one in my archive. The color story is really pretty. You have blush, bronzer, highlighter in here, eyeshadows on the top. This is really good for travel, but I don't really pull it out much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in my archive because of the cover art. I just love this kind of retro theme here. So yeah, this will go in my archive. We have the Violet Voss. This is the Blush Bellini palette. There are blushes. It says 4-color blush palette. But the top one up here, this is a highlighter. I think I'm going to declutter this one. I bought this either early last year or late last year. I'm not even sure. And I've literally used it once. Maybe twice. I know I used it when, I did my try on and maybe one other time after that. But that's it. I have not pulled this palette at all. I love my Violet Voss eyeshadow palettes. But this just, I don't know. This just does not call to me. So I'm going to go ahead and let this one go. I'm going to move everything a little bit closer together so we can kind of reach everything a little bit more. These two right here, I'm going to also put into my archive. These are the Wayne Goss Weightless Veil blush duos. Is a highlighter and a blush. The reason why I'm going to go on ahead and move these out, my God, I'm trying not to have that giant reflection, but just cannot get rid of it. Let me just go ahead and show you what they look like, and I'll tell you about it as I'm showing you. This one is the Vivid Azalea. This one has been one of my most beloved blush highlighter duo since I picked these up. They're so freaking beautiful. The reason why I'm moving these into my archive is because Wayne did a video where he mentioned that he's going to be rebranding the entire line. So all of the products, in this packaging and this configuration, you will not see again. They've been discontinued. They're no longer available. Everything is going to be redone. The packaging, the formulas, everything. While I love this one, I don't pull it out enough for it to be like in my regular collection. So I'm going to put it in my archive. They just pull it out, during the Halloween, holiday season, whenever I do use this formula. But I feel like these are classics. This was Wayne Goss's very first makeup launch, and I think it's something to save and, to be archived and collected. The other one, this is the Bright Poppy. It's beautiful, but like I rarely ever use this one, and I have shades like this in, other palettes and singles. So yeah, this is going to go in my archive to be saved and cherished with the other one. This one I'm going to declutter. I got this one out of a mystery box from The Balm. It's okay. There's a blush, bronzer, and a highlighter in here. The formula is decent, but yeah, these aren't really for me. The blush and the highlighter work okay, but the bronzer, it's just way too light. So we're going to go ahead and declutter this one. These three, unfortunately, they don't make anymore. The Full Spectrum collection from CoverGirl, I think, was one of the best collections that CoverGirl ever made. I don't know why they discontinued it, but they discontinued the entire line. These two are the palettes, or two of the palettes. Maybe the only ones. I think they only had the two. I got these on clearance at Walgreens, and these are freaking beautiful. These are the Sculpt Expert. You have the medium, and then you have the light. Both of these are stunning. I will not be decluttering them. Same thing with this one. This is the Chocoholic. It still smells like chocolate. There was a bronzer in the middle, but it broke, so I just have the highlighters. But the formula in here, absolutely amazing. All three of these palettes, when you apply them to the cheek, it's very smooth, very wet looking. It does not show off like all the texture and stuff on my cheeks. These palettes are beautiful, and like I said, I wish CoverGirl had kept this particular line going. The entire line, including the liquid lipsticks, were amazing, but you know how it goes. There'll be a fantastic line, a fantastic product, and of course, the brand has to discontinue it. Next, we have from Beauty Bakery. This is the Milk and Honey palette. This one, I think I am going to go ahead and declutter, I think. This one was my choice item in one of my BoxyCharm boxes. This was back before they started combining the Ipsy and the BoxyCharm, and then it got all confusing. You used to be able to like pick a choice item, and this is the one that I picked. I like it okay, but I don't ever really pull from it. I have other palettes in here that I'm more likely to pull from, singles as well. So I'm going to go ahead and let this one go. Let's move everything a little bit closer. This one is the Coming to America 2, the Royal Edit made in Zambuba highlighter. Zambuba. Did I just say that? Zamunda highlighter palette. I love the crest on the front, and these highlighters are really, really pretty. They are a little bit glittery. They smell like cookies, though, which I love. I'm going to take this one and put this one into my archive. I mainly got it because of the actual collaboration. It's not something that I really pull on the regular basis, so I'm going to go ahead and put this one in my archive because it's something that I want to keep, not necessarily in the main collection, of makeup that I rotate, but I definitely want to hang on to it. Everything else here I will be keeping. I'm just going to go ahead and show you what's here, though. This one is from Revolution. I got this one in an advent calendar last year. These tones, it's such a beautiful palette. It's literally the only thing that I kept for myself when I did those advent calendar unboxings last year. Everything else I either gave away or put in an actual giveaway. But this is beautiful. This one right here, this is one of my absolute favorites. I'm a huge Marvel fan, as many of you guys know. And this was from the Black Widow collaboration with Ulta. This is just the face palette. This is a blush, highlighter, and the bronzer. And you guys, the formula in this one is stunning. When it comes to Ulta, especially these little collaborations, you never know what the formula is going to be. Like that Thor collaboration, that palette, not very good. This one is stunning, especially the bronzer. Oh my God, it's such a perfect tone to me. It has a slight glow. I love it. I'm going to keep this one in the main collection because I do pull it out on a regular basis. It is just beautiful. From BH Cosmetics, we have my Spotlight. This is one of the first palettes that I ever purchased when I first got into makeup and I first started my channel. This is one of the first palettes that I ever purchased when I first got into makeup and I first started my channel. This formula is super smooth. It's very wet looking on the cheek. These four over here are the ones that I kind of, use the most. I mean, you can see like they're very, very well loved. It's such a beautiful palette. I've had this for like maybe 3 years, but it still performs, still beautiful, not getting rid of it. From Lunar Beauty, we have, this is the first Moon or the Moon Prism blush palette. There are 2 blush palettes. This was the Moon Prism. I have no idea what the second one was called, but this is beautiful. The top, these are raised, stunning. And then you have these really pretty soft tones of blushes. This one right here is like a glowy blush. On me, it works more like a highlighter. If you are someone of a deeper skin tone, this would make the perfect peachy toned highlighter. It is gorgeous. It would also make like a really pretty blush topper. This is one that I love to pull out like in the springtime going into the summer. It's beautiful. And then our very, very last palette. This is from Blend Bunny Cosmetics as well. This is the Noctilucent. You guys know I'm not getting rid of this one. This is I think they're like Trio, Multichrome, something like that. These tones are just so shifty. It's really hard to catch that shift on camera. You can sort of see it, but yeah, it's really difficult to catch it. But these are so shifty. They are a little bit glittery, so you want to be careful when you're actually applying it to your cheek, but they work great as shimmer eyeshadows, inner corners. It's a beautiful palette. We started out with 24 palettes. I'm keeping 15. I think that's actually pretty good. 4 of them I am completely decluttering from the collection. 1 of them I'm passing on to my daughter, and then I have 4 that are going into my archive. So I think I did pretty good. That's going to be the end of this declutter. The next one will be the single shadows and mini eyeshadow palettes. So definitely stay tuned for that. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to give the video a thumbs up. It really does help with the channel. If you are new to the channel and you're not already subscribed, I would love it if you would consider joining my little family and hitting subscribe. Make sure you tap the bell so you don't miss a thing. And you can also follow me on my other socials. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Be safe, take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.